This is 7 News.
Tonight, the Bali twins battle. A medical team prepares to fly in to separate the tiny twins. Perth police move in on a wild party, why neighbours have had enough.
This is an unlawful assembly.
Anger as a yacht sinks, claims their calls for help ignored.
And our whole future dreams gone.
And the Dockers hold on against the winless Suns.
Ices the game. Well done, Dockers.
From the studios of 7 Perth, Emmy Kubainski.
Good evening. A medical team will fly from Java to Denpasar, Indonesia next week to assess conjoined twin girls in hospital there. Natalia Cooper is in Denpasar and spoke with the twins' father, who still hasn't been allowed in to see his baby daughters.
Emmy, I'm at Sangla Hospital in Denpasar. I met Ketut, the twins' father, this afternoon, and he still hasn't been able to hold his baby girls. They're being kept in a sterile room. A team of doctors from Surabaya on nearby Java will fly here next week, and they'll be the ones to decide what's going to happen next. Ketut has been keeping a makeshift vigil just outside the hospital. His wife, Nyoman Sukarini, is in an apartment nearby. Ketut says his wife isn't strong enough after her emergency caesarean to come to the hospital. Even if she did, she wouldn't be able to hold her babies. We saw new pictures of the little girls today. Doctors say they are very, very fragile. You really feel for Ketut and his wife. They're separated from their girls, they're separated from each other, and they're just waiting for some good news. But it might be a little longer yet that they'll have to wait. Doctors say the girls will be at least a month old before they're operated on, and that team will arrive here next week and make that decision on what will happen next. Emmy.
Natalia Cooper there in Denpasar. The family of a teenager killed in a snorkelling accident in Bali is preparing to bring his body home to Australia. Friends of Jack McCabe gathered on his favourite beach last night to pay tribute to a life cut short. Police had bottles thrown at them when a party of about 100 people spilled onto a suburban street in Kubainski in Perth's east. Frustrated neighbours say it's the third out-of-control party at the house in 3 weeks.
This is an unlawful assembly.
Another out-of-control party. This time police were well prepared.
I am a police officer. I'm ordering you to disperse within 3 minutes.
Officers on horses with shields and batons, police dogs trying to tame the 100-plus partygoers who police say were an aggressive and angry crowd. Scared neighbours didn't sleep all night.
Very frightened. We don't need this in Kubainski.
The party hosts say they didn't mean for it to get out of control and they've apologised to their neighbours.
Sorry about the party and whatnot.
Residents in this area say this is the third Friday night party to happen here at this Holmes West house in the past 3 weeks, and they've been told there are more parties to come. They want the Department of Housing to step in to stop this happening again.
The department says it hasn't received any formal complaints but will investigate if it does. Police issued 2 juvenile cautions for disorderly conduct. Chantelle, Toohey, 7 News.
A Rockingham couple who live on a yacht say they've been left homeless because authorities ignored their pleas to save the sinking vessel. The 55-foot yacht was tied to the Rockingham jetty last night when rough seas caused it to hit the jetty and fall apart.
Grant McDonald and his partner Corinne have lost their home and almost everything they own.
Some hand tools, an old generator and the car that doesn't work anymore. That's all we've got in the whole world.
The couple had tied their 55-foot cement yacht to this jetty as they loaded their pets and belongings in, ready to set sail. But by 6 o'clock last night, the weather turned. With strong winds and heavy seas, they had to evacuate.
One wave got so big, it actually picked the 20 tonnes up and chucked it on top of that post, which is snapped, and that went right through the hull. And when she went back down, that was it. She started filling up with water.
Grant says he radioed for help to tow the boat away from the jetty, but no one came.
Without the help, it was just going to keep crashing until it sunk.
Both the Water Police and Sea Search and Rescue say in this case no lives were in danger. It was far too dangerous to attempt to tow such a heavy vessel in such rough conditions. there was just nothing they could do.
We're basically going to place a navigation aid, an isolated danger, just to alert people to the fact that the vessel is sunk.
The couple who weren't insured say they can't afford the $20,000 to retrieve the boat, and the Salvos are helping with crisis accommodation for now. Chantelle, Toohey, 7 News.
And 2 men were rescued off Kalbarri after their boat overturned this afternoon. They were spotted in the water by a Qantas jet about 20 kilometres offshore. The men, who were wearing life jackets, spent 3 hours in the water. It's not known what caused the boat to overturn. Rangers haven't been able to find 2 pit bulls who mauled another dog to death. Mr Moo was a 9-year-old Westie Maltese. He was attacked at an East Perth park while being walked by his owner 2 days ago. Stuart McLean witnessed the attack on his dog and confronted a man he thought was the owner, but says he was told to get over it. The town of Vincent has issued a warrant for the dogs to be handed over. WA's elite athletes will get a $31 million training facility the government claims will be the best in the country. Olympic pole vaulter Steve Hooker says the current WA Institute of Sport is tiny and under-resourced. The new headquarters will include a multi-purpose gym, recovery and rehab areas, an indoor runway and sports science laboratories.
You make do with wheelie bins as ice baths, and you make do with sort of old equipment in the gym. But we make do pretty well. It's just going to be a real added bonus to have everything that's at the top of the top class in Australia.
The new facility will be built behind Challenge Stadium and should be ready in 18 months. The government has also revealed today it's committed $375 million over the next 4 years to Perth's new stadium at Burswood. Well, the Nick Darcy scandal is threatening to derail the build-up to Australia's Olympic campaign. Our Olympic chiefs have found themselves under heavy pressure to explain how the infamous Australian record holder secured a spot in the team. Stay with us here on 7 News. Still to come after the break, more Australian soldiers wounded in Afghanistan and Wittenoom's terrible toll. The family still suffering decades on their walk for a cure. And a hot lap to say thanks a year after the driver's fiery crash. Thanks, Barra. There's more wet weather on the way. I'll have the forecast next, plus the Saturday night lotto draw, only on 7. Well, we've got more wet weather on the way this weekend and continuing into next week. Our maximum for today was 22.5 degrees at 2:40 this afternoon, following an overnight low of 16.9. Right now in Perth, it's 19.1 degrees. To the chart, and a cold front will pass over the southwest tomorrow morning, with isolated showers contracting to the coast towards the evening. Around the state tomorrow, clear skies in the north under a high. Meanwhile, showers will push further inland with the trough. The Euclid Goldfields and southern Gascoyne should all see scattered falls tomorrow. Across the country tomorrow, fine in Brisbane and Sydney, a frosty morning in Canberra, showers clearing in Melbourne, cloudy in Hobart and Adelaide. On the water, winds sow to southwesterly at 10 to 15 knots, then shifting west northwesterly in the evening. Seas to 1.5 metres on a swell of 2.5 metres. So tomorrow we're in for a few showers around sunrise, a top of 21 degrees. Tonight we'll get down to 15. Looking ahead, those showers will continue until Thursday and then finally easing, and finally some clear skies and sunshine on Friday. It's lotto time now. Good luck. 7 News this Saturday. Stay with us now for the footy. Good night.